We are live. We got this.
Welcome to Cooperville.
We got a new intro. Welcome to the show. That's them boys. Blake and Joey. Devour the Day. Egypt Central created me an intro. Pretty awesome. Excited. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. Big show today. Loud show today. We have Madam Mayhem joining the program coming up in under 10 minutes. We have Blake Davenport joining the show, up-and-coming country artist. He's going to perform a song on this show today. It's going to be music. It's going to be music and singing and dancing. Oh, maybe not dancing. What do you think of that new intro, Joe? That hits, man. That hits. It hits in the feels right there.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. And we have Emperors and Angels joining the program later on this afternoon. We're just loaded. We're loaded on a Wednesday. Excited. Thank you for being a part of this show. Whether you're on Facebook Live, whether you were on YouTube, whether you're on the Twitch, I say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. C-Dubs. What up, C-Dubs? You can join in the comments as well. Join in the program. Comment section of whatever platform you're watching. Perhaps it's down below. Maybe it's over to that side. Maybe it's up, I don't know, wherever it is. Jump in the comments. Let's have a ball today. Let's have a ball. Don't forget, you can get all exclusive with Cooperville Live. Join our Patreon. That link is in the comments as well. Join in. We got a bunch of cool stuff coming up. We just talked to Monster Energy today. We're going to have a bunch of cool shit coming. Super cool stuff. And chances for you to get your hands on some of that super cool stuff. Winning is in. Very cool. And lots to get to today. Lots to get to today as well. Cut that off. Lots to get to. Before we get to Madam Mayhem. She's coming up in about 8 minutes. They are trying to cancel Eminem. Gen Zers are taking to Twitter and TikTok and trying to cancel Eminem. Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate it. I like it too. Blake and Joey doing the damn thing. Gonna be working with those guys on some other stuff too, so stay tuned for that. Ooh, maybe become a patron and you'll find out first. Who knows? They're trying to cancel Eminem. He's trending on Twitter. You don't come after M. Like, you should know this. You can't come after Eminem. Many have tried. Many have tried to come after Eminem before. He comes out with a diss track and just lights people on fire. You imagine Eminem going after Gen Z? The amount of feelings that will be hurt are infinite. We would drown in Gen Z tears if Eminem came after them with a diss track. Man. I just don't like his lyrics. We've been down this, like, Gen Z is not, you're not privy. You're not privy to the fact that we've been down this road before. We've had politicians tried to shut Eminem down, and he became the biggest thing in hip hop. You can't fuck with the great one. You just can't. You can try. Good luck. Be like Noah. Remember Noah from that book? I'm going to build an ark. I'm going to build an ark for all the Gen Z tears that will fall when Eminem comes out with a track that hurts their feelings so bad And he's just sobbing. I can't believe he said that about me. And I'll just be like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. No. I'll be singing that. I'll be singing like cleaning out my closet or something, you know? Sorry, mama. That'll be me. Feel free to jump on board my boat. We'll just wait till the water settles and we'll be fine. Going after Eminem. This is according to Hip Hop DX. I got a boat. No, Matt, you have a boat. We're going to use your boat. I was suggesting like Noah. We build a boat or an ark. But since you have one, since you have the boat, we don't have to worry about it. I don't have to build one. I don't have to go all Noah and build an ark. But I can't believe they're going after. Who goes after? You don't go after Eminem. There's rules in life, like wash your hands and don't talk shit about Eminem. Those are the two things. That's all you need to know. Other than that, do what you want. But Gen Z deciding that Eminem is a good target to go after. My suggestion, if we have any Gen Zers in the comments here, not Eminem. Not Eminem. He will come after you. Lyrically, he will come after you. Again, that story from Hip Hop DX. It's actually all over. It was like trending on Twitter. It was trending on TikTok, which I guess is a thing. Things can trend on TikTok. Cancel Eminem. Machine Gun Kelly tried to cancel Eminem. That didn't work out. I mean, it worked. I mean, MGK is like with Megan Fox now, so maybe it did work out. I don't know. He played Tommy Lee in the Dirt movie. Like he's fine. I just don't know if Gen Z can take it. Again, wherever you are watching the live stream on Facebook Live or on YouTube or on Twitch, we thank you. I see Madam Mayhem is in the green room. We're going to bring her into the show and say, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Sorry, I had to rant about Eminem there for a second. Because
it's great. No problems here.
Strange things happening in the world. And
yes.
we're just trying to stay afloat. Madam Mayhem joins Cooperville Live. I say thank you. You got a new song out. You've been even before the pandemic, you were like all over. I would see you, obviously I follow you on the social medias. I'm like, that girl is out doing stuff. She's getting after it, doing live shows. And even in the pandemic, you're putting out new music. So you've been busy, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah. I don't do well if I'm not busy. So I try to keep as busy as humanly possible. But yeah, before the pandemic, we were on the road all the time and, working on new music, recording new music. So during this time, we figured we should release some new music that we already had recorded right before the pandemic hit, just so, leaking out some of these singles in the meantime, so that, once we can get back on the road, people will know some of the songs we'll be doing.
Awesome. I want to talk more about the last year and even before that, but I want to take you way back into like your the first thing that you can recall where you're like, music is going to be something that I will pursue, because I've talked to a lot of artists on this show in my 20 years in radio, and it's like one of those things, like it is challenging. Like I'm sure going to be a doctor or a lawyer, that has its own set of challenges. Right. But as a parent would say, like, you should go be a doctor or a lawyer, because at least you work through it and you have a steady paycheck. You don't have to worry about anything else. But
right.
What was it in your life as you were growing up that you were like, you know what? Forget it. I'm doing music and I don't care. Nobody's standing in my way.
It's funny. I always say this, and I've been wanting to do this for as long as I can remember, like since I was born. I know that sounds silly, but it's really true. I was a New York City kid. And, I was just performing as a kid. As soon as I could, talk, I came out screaming, I just wanted to sing and dance. And so the first thing that, parents usually do in this area when your kid wants to like perform and sing is, they put you in musical theater classes or opera training, because, New York City, you have Broadway and all that stuff. Right. So I started in that world as a very young kid. And of course, I also was a huge rock and metal lover my whole life, and my mom got me into rock music. So thanks, Mom, if she's watching. So I was also writing my own music at the same time from very young. And so by the time it came time to, okay, I always knew I was going to sing and perform. It was what realm. And it was very easy for me to, make the choice to be a rocker because that's just who I am.
Yeah. It was in your blood from an early age.
Yes.
Do you have like early, I know you talked about your mom being, being a rock fan and introducing you to some artists. Like what were the things you remember hearing that keened you? I mean, music and performing can be in your blood, but it takes that some sound. Maybe you were still, inside of mom and she was listening to stuff and you're like, yeah, that's my jam. Like, do you remember like some of the bands that you grew up listening to that really like fed that rock beast inside?
Yeah, well, I'm a grunge baby. So my mom was listening to all the grunge music while I was a very, very young child. And so, Soundgarden, Nirvana, everything, Alice in Chains. And then as I got older, my taste got heavier and heavier. So, then there's also the classic metal that I was listening to that I loved. And then I got into new metal, which is, the Korns of the world and everything like that. And so my rock and metal taste is very eclectic, which I love. Like it's a huge broad spectrum. But it all started with grunge. It did.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start. I mean, some of the greatest musicians, artists, talent. I mean, the era that really changed rock and roll. I mean, and you have several of those throughout the course of history, but I mean, the 80s was something completely different. It was a lot of glam stuff. There was Aquanet, like just flying off of shelves. We lost the layer of ozone, probably too, during the 80s. And then this grunge sound comes out and it completely changes that whole decade of rock music. And you talked about some of those bands, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, STP. I mean, all that stuff was, I mean, those are albums you put in and you just listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Listen to everything. But what a great base point to have.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I'll still listen to, to that music, whenever I can.
Yeah. It still resonates today. Maybe it resonates more so today.
Maybe.
It was like, the 90s, it made sense. Now we're like, 2020, 2021 makes sense too. No, that's no.
Definitely.
When you first start actually getting into performing, being a front woman, being on the stage, like where do you draw the energy from? I mean, because I've seen you live before, and there's just a certain je ne sais quoi, we'll call it, about the energy that you have on stage. Like, where do you draw that from as you get out and get ready to go perform?
Well, performing live and performing my music live where I have that actual connection to what I'm singing, that's my favorite thing in the entire world to do. Writing songs is amazing as well, but performing them is my favorite thing. And there's just something inside of me that just like, it all just, I basically spill my guts out on the stage. And I try to give it my all. And again, I'm trained in performance, so I always try to make like a big scene on stage, but really where I draw that energy is through the crowd. I mean, there could be 2 people in the audience and there could be, like 20,000 people in the audience. And our band has played with very small crowds to very huge crowds. We've had that. And it doesn't matter as long as there's rock lovers there that can relate to the music and the things that you're saying and the songs and just the, the energy that you're putting out, as a performer, you feed off of that. And so I think that really helps as well to have, the crowd that they want to see awesome live music and they want to see, rock music. And so you feel that connection instantly as soon as you hit the stage.
You talked about the performance aspect of it and then a little bit about the writing. Where do you get the, I have nothing but admiration for those who sit down and write music, write poetry, write books. I mean, that is just an underappreciated quality, because I mean, people go to a show and I think rock maybe is a little more like, I know that chances are this artist probably wrote this.
Right.
Some other genres you can be like, this artist probably did not write this at all. They have never experienced anything like this, but I digress. So where, like, are you one that writes from life experience? Do you have a perception of the world that's around you and you kind of put pen to paper from your vantage point? Tell me about your writing process.
What's really cool about my writing process is it's never the same thing twice, which I love. Like I never go in there and I go, okay, this is my strategy. I'm going to start with this and go with this. it can either start with lyrics that just pop into my head. A lot of the things I write about, especially nowadays more than ever, is the frustrations and anxiety. I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety, over the past few years of my life, and frustrations with whether it's things in life, things with the industry, things with whatever. I tend to let that all spill out onto the page. And that's really where I draw most of my songwriting from. And then just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes artists like you in the rock genre, that's what makes it relatable. I think you can hear a song and go, I understand what that person is going through or is feeling. I mean, obviously there's some different, lenses that you're viewing it from, but as a listener, somebody who's listening to the music, they go, oh yeah, I get that feeling. I get that sensation. So there's a connection there, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, and me as a rock fan and as a rock music listener, that's how I relate to people's music. So, I definitely want to be able to portray the same thing where someone can get in their car, listen, my song comes on, and they get that sense of relief. Like, yes, I totally get this. Like, and even if it's not the same exact situation that I was writing about, it could be a stress release for someone else about whatever they're dealing with in their life. And that's always how I listen to music. So it's cool when I'm able to give back, and it's that cycle.
No, yeah. I agree. And I think that's why the relationship with rock fans and rock artists is that unbreakable bond that you don't see in a lot of other genres, because there's a connection that is below the lyric. There's an emotion that's tied to it. And I think, you're a great, portrayer of that with how you write, the things that you write about. So we talked about you kind of having this crazy on the road, writing music, I'm seeing you at shows all over the place. And then, and are you still in New York?
Yes.
You're in the one of the heavier hit areas.
Yeah.
I'm sure obviously 2020 comes, and every year it seems like it turns over. There's big plans. There's tours, and there's festivals, and there's all the, the stuff you look forward to in a new year. 2020 obviously had a little bit of a different ring to it.
Mm-hmm.
Things didn't quite pan out the way anybody had expected.
Correct.
Like what, I'm sure you guys had a busy year planned. Tell me about, having to, and I'm sure it's an anxiety, a stressor as well, having to go and reevaluate your plan for the year and still have to navigate through, the muck and the mud that's 2021.
Yeah. I mean, we had actually just finished a tour at the end of February of 2020. And so we were just coming off the road, and right before that last tour, we recorded a few songs that we were either going to turn into an EP or add some more songs after that tour to complete a full album. So that those were our next steps. And so the fact that all that kind of got, put on hold, we were supposed to release a new song a few months after, and we waited, and, now we're slowly releasing those singles out now. But I mean, it sucked. But what was scarier was the actual pandemic and the actual fear for like your life or life of your loved ones, and the people that were out there. I mean, a lot of family members of mine are frontline workers, healthcare workers, and so the fact that they had to go out there and do what they do, like, they are true heroes, and I have to give them props for that. But I mean, it was scary, and especially in New York when everything's always so busy, and it's just, there's always stuff happening, and then when you look outside, there's nothing happening. It was very strange. And, we're still navigating through it. I mean, every day I wake up and I go, okay, so what is the plan, and no one knows. I mean, we can only plan and hope, for things to be happening. And then just, prepare for the best or the worst, prepare for the worst and expect that. I mean, however you say it, but, just, my goals right now are to keep, creating and writing new music, and hopefully being able to release as many, songs every couple months as I can that we already have done, so that, the fans can have something to look forward to during this time, while we wait, to get back out on the road is really the big thing right now, you know, doing things like this. So thanks for having me on, and you know, like whether it's virtual festivals or virtual performances, we're going to be doing a bunch of that stuff upcoming in the next few months as well. And then hopefully, you know, we'll get the green light, and then we could be like, hey, getting back on the road. Hey, like we're back in the studio full time, you know, like right now we're all communicating using like our at-home rig setups in our at-home studios, you know, sending ideas back and forth. And, you know, hopefully we can get into the studio soon and, you know, get some of these new songs out for everyone, and, you know, see where we go from there.
So outside of, and that's, I mean, that's a very productive way of spending your time. I mean, there's,
oh, well, there was times where I was like everyone's like, oh, I learned a new instrument, I learned a new language. I was like, I am freaking out. I can't do anything right now. Right. I mean, I've had those moments as well, you know. It hasn't all been super productive. It's just, you know, when sometimes you kind of, I feel like sometimes I kind of have to push myself, because this is my passion. This is what I love to do. And so, you know, I'll have those moments, those days, those weeks where it's like, oh, I'm like paralyzed and I can't do it. But like, then I have those moments where it's like, all right, I got to get this out. I have to do this. This is what I love. And like, you know, so I get those spurts, but it definitely wasn't all productivity all the time. It was definitely, you know, a struggle here and there, touch and go.
Do you have some other, I mean, besides obviously working on music, and I know I want to talk about your interaction with your fans on social media, because I think you've aced that over the last, I mean, forever, but over the last year especially. Like, are there things that you've, I didn't learn a new language either, so like we can keep on.
I don't feel so bad.
Like, well, I was going to learn Burmese or, you know, something, but I decided not to. But were there things that you pick up on, like a show to watch, or like, was there anything else that you helped pass the time and kind of like, oh, well, I guess now I can catch up on this particular show, or, you know, find artists to follow? Like, what did you do in the spare time when you're not working? Or,
well, in the very beginning, I got to like catch up on shows, and it was kind of nice to be home, because I hadn't been home in so long, like for long periods of time. So in the beginning, I was kind of okay with it. But, you know, I was watching, there were all these shows out, like binge watching shows that I hadn't gotten to watch, like The Boys and all these other awesome shows that I loved. But then, you know, obviously I got through them all. And so now we're up to watching the worst things. You know, like when you watch like every movie you think you could have possibly watched, and you're just like, okay, is this, and you just start like, your standards of what you're watching go way down. You're just like, oh, like a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, let's see what this is all about. So like, I think I'm at the point now where I'm just watching terrible things that I'm just like, okay with at this point. I've given up in terms of watching things. But in terms of learning things, I was able to figure out some video editing during this time, more based on necessity. We released a cover song, Living on the Edge, in 2020. And I wanted to have something to go with it. And there was no way we were getting a music video out during that time. And I had already released a lyric video for the song before, Breaking Down. So I wanted something different. So I literally pieced together a bunch of footage behind the scenes and live performance of me from closer to the beginning of my career through now, and kind of just put all those together. And that was like a big project for me, because I can do very basic editing, but I'm not ever going to claim that I'm a video editor in any way, shape, or form. And so that took a while, but I was very proud of myself that I accomplished that. And it wasn't me like necessarily, you know, music or, you know, singing related. So that was like the coolest thing, I guess, that for myself that I was able to do. But besides that, you know, just sticking to the music part.
I think that's it's the little skills, right? It's like the little things, like when it, like somewhere down the road, you know, it's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I can do that. I figured that out during the pandemic. I got this all figured out. And I'm totally with you on going from like watching really good shows, like, oh man, I wanted to catch up on this, or, you know, falling into some trap. And now it's like, I get so, like tired of flipping through Netflix. I'm like, oh, I don't even, I have 20 minutes. My girlfriend and I were like, just like watching previews. I'm like, we could have spent that watching a movie.
That's all we do now. I just watch previews of things, and then we'll finally give up and pick something. And we're like, we know this is bad, but we're just not going to stop
Yeah.
watching this.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep going. It's fine.
Yeah, we got on some it's some other app that they were advertising on the Fire Stick. It was like Pluto, and it's like just like the worst movies ever made, but they're all free. And I'm like, some
Awesome.
weird like 1991. There's 2 Arnold Schwarzeneggers in this movie. It was like 8.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, I really think we should invest some time in this. This seems like a good idea.
Yep.
But you know what it does? It does help you completely detect. You don't need any sort of brain functionality to watch that kind of stuff. You're just completely tapped out.
Yeah. So if you're ever like I know for me, sometimes it's like there are weeks where I'm like, there's nothing going on. And then there's weeks where I'm super stressed and there's so much, going on in my head. And then to watch stuff like that, where you literally just need 0 brain function and you could just sit there. Sometimes that's really nice.
Yeah. You're like, I just completely tapped out for an hour and a half. That was amazing. Let the brain settle a little bit. Don't need to interpret too much. Yeah, that was that movie I watched. I'm not even sure what the plot was. Something about cloning. I don't know. It was weird. It was super.
You never need to fully understand the plot for those. Ever.
No. Because then you would realize there are so many plot holes in it. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you can't. Once you start analyzing or looking up like online what it was about, then you're going to be really like even more disappointed than you were before. So it's just better to just watch it and then walk away.
You've also done this fantastic job of really being interactive with the fans on social media, just kind of keeping engaged with them and talking to them about stuff you got going on back and forth. How important has that been? I mean, because besides releasing the music, which is, obviously the key, but we talked about that connection between the artist and the fan in rock music. Yeah. They're going through these similar things. They want to see a show. This is where they meet their friends. People have gotten married at shows. They've found their significant other, this pack of people, the tribe that comes out to see a show. They're missing all that, but you've done a great job of being able to kind of at least open those lines of communication and say, hey, we're here. We're still hanging, writing music, doing the thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's so important. And even before the pandemic, it was very important to me to always try to stay as engaged and interact with my fans as much as humanly possible. Just because I really truly feel that the rock and metal communities we are one family. The artists are just as much rock and metal fans as the fans that come and see us. Like, we are fans. So I love talking about music. I love connecting with people. I feel like no matter where you come from, what you're going through, whatever it is, I genuinely feel that the music can bring you together, and it is a family. And so I always do my best. I run all of our social media for like 99% of like everything. Right. So if someone sends a message on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, it's probably me. And if it's not, they'll say it's not. Otherwise, it's me. And so I try really hard to keep in touch. I mean, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, or I miss something by accident. I can miss a comment, or I'm human. I can't read it all. But
it's not your full-time job.
Right. But I do genuinely try to interact because I genuinely love it. I mean, when we play live shows, as I'm sure you've seen, like, I jump off the stage right away and I am in the crowd meeting everyone, and I'm the one selling our merch because I want to talk to you. I want to like get your feedback, or I want to like, meet you. I mean, we are all one family. I genuinely feel that way. And so, especially during this time, I mean, it's just as much therapeutic for me as it is for whoever's reaching out to me. I want, like, to have those interactions are really important. And so, as much as I also think social media is like, I have very mixed feelings about social media. I feel like it's a whole lot of work. It's like, why can't I just sing and share my music? Like, who cares about this picture of my face? Come on. But I understand why it's there. And I try to use it for that interaction. And I try to I try to use it like for that. And then of course, obviously promoting the music so everyone knows what's going on. That's important as well. But it really is, that interaction. And I think now more than ever, it's important for artists to, try to reach out to those fans, or at least try to answer, or at least heart a comment. I mean, at least read through it and see what's up, You want to know what everyone's going through, because they're probably going through the same things, you are.
Yeah. Super important. I'm going to put your mind in the future at some point. I can't give you an exact date. I wish I could, but at some point you're going to be back at a venue. You're going to be going through sound check, and you're going to be about to take the stage. you know, have you thought about the emotions? I mean, you're a professional. I know you're going to get through it, but like to have, you know, your craft, your art, the thing that you've been doing, like you said, since you were born, basically,
Right.
not be able to do it for an extended period of time. Have you thought about what that's going to feel like right before you go
Oh,
on?
it's going to be amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sure me and my entire band will be beyond excited. Probably will definitely like be freaking out with each other on stage as it's happening, you know,
Right.
and like that energy will probably be like so much energy that we will be exerting. I mean, we're always a very high energy, you know, driven live band, but I'm sure we will literally give like more than we actually have. And we will probably all collapse at the end. But like before that moment, are you kidding? Like I'm not a big crier, but I'm sure tears will be coming out like in the first song. Are you kidding? Like I've been talking to my bandmates about this and we are just so excited, you know, for the moment where we get to all, you know, reunite on stage and reunite with everyone out in the crowds again.
Yeah. I just said that energy. And from the fans perspective, when, you know, the lights drop, I mean, people are just going to lose their shit. It's just going to be amazing. It's going to be, this is what it's
we're all
like.
going to lose our shit. We're all going to lose it.
A collective loss of shit will happen all at once. And then we'll all rock out for a 90-minute rock show. No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Cruel Heart is the latest song and the video is out now. Talking about, you know, and obviously we talked, this was kind of a process of things that has happened over the course of the last year, but tell me about, you know, that feeling of being able to get music out, get a video out, you know, really feed your need as an artist wanting to get these songs out. And then obviously, you know, feeling that love back from the fans has to be really gratifying during all this.
I mean, I'm so happy that Cruel Heart is out now. And if whoever hasn't heard it yet, please check it out. It's available wherever you stream, Spotify, everywhere. And yes, we have a video, which you can check out on Madam Mayhem official YouTube page. But this song I wrote a while ago with Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin, and he's also an amazing solo artist as well. And it was one of the first songs we wrote together. We've written a few songs together. Some you guys will hear soon. But this song, when I remember getting on the plane and listening back to this song, and I was like, this was one of the songs where I was like, I need the world to hear it. And then no one got to hear it for a while. But then we went on tour before everything stopped and we got to play it and kind of like tested it out with everyone before anyone knew what the song was. And the fan reaction and the crowd reaction was so great. And people were coming up to me after saying how much they related to it. And this is also a personal song for me. So the fact that other people could relate to what I was feeling and what I was going through at the time just made it that much more special. So the fact that Cruel Heart is out now, you know, I feel like it's like a collaborative effort between myself and my fans and whoever, you know, like it's been a journey, and for the song to finally be out now is very exciting. And I'm so thrilled. And the video was super fun to make. We actually made the video more recently. And because of protocols and precautions, that's why it's me. I run around a lot in there in the streets of New York.
And there's just not a lot of people around. I'm not sure where all the people are. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even need to practice that because we were in like random streets of New York at the time, and you know what? Right. I mean, now it's filled up a lot more since, but I mean, I definitely got my cardio in that day. That's for sure. But yeah, but this song and the whole process and working with everyone that was part of the song has been pretty amazing, and so I'm just thrilled that it's out now. You know, out in the world, and people are able to listen to it now.
No, it's very cool. It's a great song, great video. I love it. Everybody go and check it out on Madam Mayhem official on YouTube. And I know it's linked up on all of your social medias and stuff. Thank you so much for taking some time out and chatting and telling your story. And it's great to learn more about you. And I tell you, I can't wait to actually see you at a show, like in person, you know, you're doing the thing. And I'll just be, like I said, losing my shit. And along with everybody else. And I know that you're waiting to get back out there too. And hopefully that happens sooner than later.
Yes. And I can't wait to see you out at a show too. We have to make sure we link up if we're ever in your neck of the woods or whatever it may be, you know. And yeah, I mean, this is so much fun. So thanks for having me on.
No, anytime. I will link up to all of your social medias in the comment sections of all of our streaming platforms. Madam Mayhem, thank you. Enjoy, and hopefully back out on the road soon.
Thank you, and rock on.
Yeah, there we go. Madam Mayhem live on Cooperville Live. Go and check out the video for Cruel Heart. Again, Madam Mayhem official on the YouTube, and it's linked up in all of her stuff. I think it's just at Madam Mayhem on Instagram and on the Facebook. It is Cooperville Live. We have about 10 minutes, and then we're going to be joined by Mr. Davenport. He's going to bring his guitar along, and he's going to sing for us. It is going to be fantastic. We will take a ever so short break. We'll be back in just a few. Stand by. Back on Cooperville Live. Thank you all for cranking it up, tuning in, and being a part of the show. We appreciate it wherever you're watching, on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on the Twitch. We appreciate it. Thank you to Madam Mayhem for joining the program. Excited. She's excited to get back out on the road, and she's getting new music out. Check out Cruel Heart again on her official Madam Mayhem YouTube page. I want to get to this story quick because I know I talked about it several weeks ago. The whole Tom Brady throwing the Lombardi Trophy and the whole fallout from Tom Brady, TB12, being perhaps slightly under the influence and tossing the famed Lombardi Trophy from boat to boat to one of his tight ends. He's finally come out and made a statement about this. And I'm not sure why he waited this long. Perhaps he finally just sobered up, but good for him. Attaboy. He says he doesn't really remember throwing the Lombardi Trophy from boat to boat. But he says he did learn that if he would have sunk it, it would have gone down about 80 feet. And he does think his 8-year-old daughter, who was the voice of reason, saying, "Daddy, don't do it," in the back. But he's apologized, so everybody can back off of Tom Brady. Let him go back to his life. You know, I'm sure he's very sorrowful, sad. I think he's going to be just fine. I see Blake Davenport is in the green room. We're going to bring him on into the show. Blake, how you doing, my friend?
What's up? What's up, Cooper? How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Dude, every day is the dream, man. Every day is the
Absolutely.
dream.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I want to say first and foremost, thank you for agreeing to be on the show. I was scanning through the Instagram and you came up jamming out to a song. I'm like, yeah, we got to talk to that guy. We got to see what that guy's cooking, and here you are. So thank you. Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. So, where are you from? Are you from Ohio? Yes, sir. I'm from about 25 miles north of Cincinnati. So right out a little small town called Lebanon. Born and raised? Yes, sir. Yep. All my life. So where do your allegiances lie then with football teams? Are you Bengals? Are you? It's tough. It's tough for me, but yes, huge Bengals fan. Who Dey for life. Yeah. Had season tickets for quite some time, but recently have let them go. So. Yeah. But yes, hopefully they're going to be back in good standing here with this quarterback we got. So. Yeah, I mean, things are looking up in the NFL. There's always that offseason is always the time of hope. I can't really. I'd complain about my Packers, but could be worse. Hey, I'm telling you, yeah, you guys got you a hell of a quarterback up there. Yeah, he's all right. Like we've been so blessed though, back to back Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And so even when we get down on Aaron Rodgers, we're like, yeah, but. Right. I was going to say, yeah, you can't talk to me about being down on the Packers, man. You guys have had some good years. All right. So I want to talk to you about music. Obviously, you're an incredibly talented musician and, kind of just doing your thing, a lot of interaction on social media. Where did the journey start for you? When was it, a lot of people can, be interested in music and some people want to pursue it as a lifestyle. Like where did it happen for you when you're like, I'm going to do music. I think that's going to be my thing. So it's actually pretty recent. Music has always been big in my family. My grandma sang professionally back in the day. She actually was a part of a band back in the 60s called Ann Jones and the Western Sweethearts. She traveled for the military and did shows for the military all across the country. So she actually has a display that's going to be being put out in the Country Music Hall of Fame. They just had a ceremony for it back in March. So it was a super cool experience. But yeah, music has really been in my life since the day I was born. But as far as my journey, when it comes to music, I was more so an athlete growing up. I played a couple years of college basketball.
And music was really a love of mine, but kind of put it on the back burner. So I would say within the past year and a half, I've really been pursuing it and kind of following my dream when it comes to that. So.
Well, it's it's an interesting time frame right now. Obviously, it's weird for everybody.
For sure.
I'm not saying there's a better time to start, but when you have like this weird world changing pandemic and the subsequent things that follow along with it, I mean, there's opportunity in that. I think there's opportunity with time to be able to kind of hone in on your craft, to kind of find your place in your drive. Have you used a lot of this time, since, I mean, it's been a year now, but have you really utilized this time to work on you and work on the music and kind of figure out where your groove is?
For sure. I've been in sales pretty much for the past 8 years. I've sold Chevrolets for 8 years now. And I'm actually in between jobs right now. So the past, I would say 2-3 months, I've really been writing and been in the studio a lot, trying to put some original music down and put myself out there as far as music goes. So I've really kind of learned a lot about myself this past year as far as pushing my limits, because I've never really put myself out there. As far as social media is a huge outlet. And with the pandemic and everything going on, I've really kind of been pushing, like with TikTok, it's a very new app, Instagram as well. I mean, it's still fairly new. So I've really been pushing myself when it comes to putting my stuff on social media this past year.
Is that I like to ask this of artists, is that if you're kind of just getting started, obviously you've been around it, it's been a passion of yours, but to put yourself out there, I mean, that's kind of like it's fourth and one and we're going for it. Right. I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna put my foot in the ground and really put what I have on display. Has it been challenging? Has it been easy for you to kind of just be like, this is who I am, this is what I do, and I'm gonna show it on these social media apps?
No, it's been tough. Just being that I was an athlete growing up. I mean, I could go play basketball in front of 5,000 people, and be completely comfortable doing that, but music was different for me. And I mean, there's going to be people that like me. There's going to be people that don't like me, but it's been more of a self accomplishment for me, just not really caring what kind of feedback I get, just because I'm doing what I love to do. And this past year, like I said, it's just stepping out of my comfort zone and putting myself out there and just seeing what happens. So it's been a really humbling experience, but it's been really great. Started to build a very solid fan base, and hopefully we'll continue to do so.
Are you a comment reader? Do you try to stay away? Because it's okay either way, but
I am. I'm a comment reader just because I feel like that's a huge part of putting yourself out there is responding to people and connecting with people that do comment, because they're taking time out of their day to listen to what I'm putting out there. So I really do want to read what people are saying, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but I do want to at least make a point to show that I am interactive and I do interact with the people that are listening to me. So I think that's very important when you are starting, when I'm still very new in this. So
what's your songwriting process like? I know it probably ebbs and flows and changes, and you pick up new things and learning things, but for you, what's your songwriting process like?
Well, when I first started writing, it was very tough for me because I just started putting stuff on paper. I've really learned I've been playing the guitar for a little over 10 years now. I wouldn't say I'm great at the guitar, but I'm getting better as I go. So for me, it's more along the lines of finding something that I think sounds good as far as chord progression goes, and finding something that might be catchy to the ear, and then putting a melody to that, and then going into my writing process. So I think the biggest thing for me is I write a lot about things that I'm going through. It's not an easy process by any means. There's times that I'll get caught up on one thing and then I'll move to the next song. But I'll always come back to my original music and kind of dip back into what I began. And I think that's really helped me as far as not trying to push through writer's block and those standstills, and just coming back to those songs and and finishing them over time. So that's really helped me as far as being able to complete songs.
Do you have artists that I mean, everybody has artists that they, obviously they like and they enjoy. I mean, I love the GNR shirt. I think I have that same one. Love it.
Absolutely.
Appetite, I mean, the greatest rock album maybe ever. It's
Agreed.
Tough to argue with that. But do you have artists that you I don't emulate isn't the right word, but like if you have like a group of 5 artists and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of like a little bit of how this person does this, or do you have a couple of artists that you kind of like look up to and admire and kind of like, okay, I kind of see how they did that. Maybe I'll take into consideration some of those things when I'm writing or when I'm performing. Anybody out there that you're like, those are my guys or gals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Chris Stapleton fan. I think he's phenomenal. Anytime he's in Cincinnati, I'm going to see him. I mean, the guy absolutely puts on a show. A big Chris Stapleton fan. I love Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen. Those are a few of the guys that I really have kind of molded myself around, I would say. And then as far as stepping outside of country, I mean, I'm a big Justin Timberlake fan as well. As far as the soulfulness, and then John Mayer, his blues side. So, I mean, I just love music in general. I mean, I grew up on like Johnny Cash and Conway Twitty, and my grandma was a huge Patsy Cline fan. So, I mean, I don't really just love one genre of music. I love it all. Leonard Skinner. Yeah. And then my dad listened to a lot of Creed, and then Stained, and then Aaron Lewis went from his rock and roll to his countryside, so those are some of the names that kind of come to mind when I talk about the music that I love and kind of mold myself after.
Well, I know. I think it's good to be eclectic. I think it's good to have interests in things. I mean, especially when you talk about a guy like Justin Timberlake, who 15, 20, well, however long it's been when he was back in a boy band, I'd have been like, no, right. There's no, and all of a sudden he turns out to be like this super talented, does everything, funny, just artist.
For sure. Actor, does it all, man.
Yeah, he nails it all. And you're like, oh, well, okay, yeah, okay, he's okay now. But right. We'll talk about a guy who's really transcended out of that, the stereotypical I'm a boy band guy into I sell at arenas by myself.
Exactly. He's the real deal.
But no, I think that's important, especially when you're, to have those kind of different sounds, because even in the way country has progressed, or depending on, I guess, your opinion, some would say it's progressed, some would say it's regressed.
For sure.
You can take different sounds, and it's been cool to watch it kind of expand. And you got there's some hip hop influences in country now, and there's, obviously the blues will always have this, real deep rooted stuff in the genre. But no, I think that's super important. Chris Stapleton, I mean, that's yeah. Tough.
Yeah, he's one of the best out, in my opinion, if not the best, in my opinion. So, and
it's crazy for there was always until he came out, those kind of guys like Jamie Johnson, and they were always like the rebels of country. Nobody was like, well, yeah, I mean, they're good, but we're not going to let them maybe we won't let them on the stage at the award shows.
Exactly. The outlaws, right?
Yeah, which is, I mean, that was the origins, right? That was exactly. The origin genre was guys like, Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and Chris
exactly right.
Crying out loud. So it's weird that they kind of hamstrung those guys, but Stapleton comes out and he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to do everything. I'm just going to be the guy, and if you don't like the fact that I stand here and I do my thing and wail on this guitar like it's nobody's business, they stopped and said, okay, you can come on in the room now.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta let this guy go for sure.
Yeah, way too good to but what a great guy to emulate. I know you've done a cover of a couple of his songs there on your social media, so people go and check that out. As you can see, Blake's got his at where he's at on Instagram and on Twitch and on TikTok.
Yep, same one.
You sent me a message. You said you have a guitar around. If you want to jam, dude,
for sure. Yeah, I'll play one for you. No problem.
Yeah, whatever. I'll let you do your thing. We'll give you the full screen. We'll make things happen.
All right. So I'm gonna play a Luke Combs song. This is an older one. It's called "Can I Get an Outlaw."
in the day was a 6-gun and the 6-string. Man, that was country. That's the way country still ought to be. It was lived, not taught. It was earned, not bought. Had to put in the work to get to the top. Let me tell you how things really gone wrong. These days it's all wanna be singing someone else's songs. Everybody's doing the same damn thing. Where have the rebels gone? We don't need another pretty boy singing pretty songs. Fake country boys doing country all wrong. Need another Haggard or Johnny Cat, somebody chewing back and whipping ass. I need a preacher, I need a savior. How about y'all? Can I get them now long? It don't have to be honky tonks, boots and Wrangler jeans. It ain't the banjo or the fiddle, no. It's the words and what they mean. If you want to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. 'Cause brother, that's the truth. But honestly, what would Waylon Jennings do? I could guarantee if he were alive today, he'd ask us one more time, are you sure Hank done it this way? 'Cause we don't need another pretty boy singing pretty songs. Fake country boys doing country all wrong. Need another Haggard or Johnny Cat, somebody chewing back and whipping ass. I need a preacher, I need a savior. How about y'all? Can I get them now long? Are the good ones really gone for good, or can we get back to our roots? It's about that time we raise the bar, so raise your glass if you feel like I do. We don't need another pretty boy singing pretty songs. Fake country boys doing country all wrong. Need another Haggard or Johnny Cat, somebody chewing back and whipping ass. I need a preacher, I need a savior. How about y'all? Can I get them now long?
Look at this guy, Luke Davenport, making things happen, going old school Luke Combs, man.
Yes, sir.
Which is tough to say old school Luke Combs.
Right, exactly.
It's true though. No, great rendition, man. That was
you.
awesome. Appreciate you busting it out and throwing down.
Yeah, man.
Live show.
Appreciate you letting me do it, man. That was awesome.
That was great. I'm glad you messaged me on that because I never want to ask people because you never know what artists are going to say. Like, oh, I don't know, but you're like, let's do it. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it, man.
I'm in. I'm always in play.
I don't know if you knew this, but he did that song with Upchurch.
Yes, sir, I did.
And, that's the first time it was strange. I heard that version before I actually heard Luke Combs do it by himself. Yeah. My buddy's like, have you heard this song before? I'm like, I think I have, strangely enough. Crazy stuff. I know that you have, you talked about writing, you talked about being in the studio. Do you have kind of I want to say a target date, but do you have like a hope in the near future to have some music recorded and released?
Yeah, so I do. I'm writing 3 songs. Well, I'm not writing 3 songs. I'm recording 3 songs in the studio right now. I would say early May is going to be the first release date. I don't have an exact date set yet. But yeah, I'm going to be releasing 3 songs. And the first one will be probably early May. My birthday is May 2nd, so I'm kind of trying to shoot for my birthday to put it out there, but we'll see. I will release a date here pretty soon once I get more of an idea of what that day will be. So,
well, that's a hell of a birthday present, man.
Yeah, man, exactly.
First single. Like Davenport OH, you can find him on Instagram and on TikTok. Hey, man, thank you so much for jumping on, for busting the guitar out, for playing for us. That was spectacular, and I wish you nothing but the best. Let's get you back on here after the song comes out. We'll chat, we'll jam, we'll do a whole bunch of stuff.
I look forward to it, Cooper, man. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Take care of yourself. We'll be in touch soon, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Blake Davenport right there performing live on the show. Cooperville Live. We got live music. We got all the things going on today. So we appreciate Blake. Blake Davenport OH at Blake Davenport OH on all of the social medias, especially on Instagram and on TikTok. He's doing the TikTok thing. So appreciate him jumping on to the program. A couple of comments to get here. Bengals suck. They've struggled, Presley. They've struggled. Struggled lately. That's the thing about sports, man. You never know. I mean, like, we're so spoiled up here. You know? We won a Super Bowl. Like, we're like, oh, we were close to the Super Bowl two years in a row. Everybody else is like, shut the fuck up. It could be worse. It could be. That was pretty good. That was pretty awesome there, Joe. Thanks for staying tuned in. We got Matt and Bella from Emperors and Angels going to be joining the program here in just a couple of minutes, so stand by for that. If you are watching on Facebook, or you're watching on YouTube, or you're watching on Twitch, thank you. Stay tuned. More to come on Cooperville Live in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Cooperville.
That's them beats again. That's them beats. The new intro. I love it. Blake Allison, Joey Walter, those Devour the Day boys putting me together some jams. So it's not just me talking shit. Special thanks again to our guests so far, Madam Mayhem, and to Blake Davenport. Thanks for being on the program. We got Matt and Bella ready to go. Embers and Angels about to join the program as well. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to get to. Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. We're live. For all of you joining in the comments, thank you. Appreciate you. Continue to do so. Continue to do so if you'd be so inclined to do so. Good stuff. This will be beneficial for all of us, all of you, if you're watching from the great state of Wisconsin, as Governor Tony Evers has proposed legalizing recreational marijuana in the new state budget. Meant to be 36 states have legalized medical marijuana, 15 have approved recreational pot. But Tony Evers' next 2-year budget will include a proposal to legalize recreational marijuana as part of a plan to generate more than $165 million each year for rural schools and underserved communities. Here's what I want, Gov. I want you to fix the roads, man. Just want you to fix the roads. Take some of that it's going to be more than $165 million in revenue. Okay. Just take some of that money, fix the roads. That's all I care about. That's it. I'm pretty easy to please, you know? Open some of that stuff up. They start opening up those shops, man. Those shops start advertising on the show. Pretty soon we're doing the show from Maui, you know? This is according to WPR.com. The proposal to tax and regulate marijuana similar to alcohol sales is likely, though, to be shot down by the Republican-controlled legislature, which has opposed efforts to legalize marijuana in the past. So, the highs and lows of the highs and lows in the great state of Wisconsin. We have a couple of big shows coming up over the next few days. Just want to give you a little heads up. Country artist Brandon Z is going to be on tomorrow. He is an advocate for legalizing the marijuana, so we will talk to him about that. And my buddy Greg Cash is going to be on the show that is coming up on Friday. So if you follow us on Patreon, you already knew all that stuff, but since you don't, you just found out right now. We were talking about this. Strangely enough, I had Blacklight District was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about, like, man, I hope I can see you again soon. Who knows what it'll be in the future. And we actually talked about, like, maybe at some point it'll just be a virtual reality helmet you put on, and then you'd literally be in the room with me. And we were like, haha, wouldn't that be cool? Now, eventually I think that's a real thing. But Microsoft is apparently already all over this. This comes from Mashable. So imagine it's time for a meeting. Instead of clicking on a Zoom or Google Meet link, you put on your headset, just like we had talked about. And rather than stare at a coworker's through tiny windows, you interact with their avatars in a virtual space and pass objects to one another. in virtual reality. I say it and Microsoft picks it up. I feel like I need to get some compensation for that. This is Microsoft Mesh, a new cloud mixed reality platform officially announced Tuesday at Microsoft Ignite, the company's annual developer conference. I want to know is like when they expect this to be a thing. Like, are we 6 months away? Are we a year away? Is this in 10 years? But it does sound like they already have the capabilities of doing it. They're just perfecting it, and then it will be released to the public and cost more than you and I can afford. So it'll be those high-end meetings, the high-end ones that are using the brand new Microsoft Mesh. I don't can't foresee it. Did experience something rather strange today, and it feels like it's been a while, at least in the springtime that I've experienced it. I listened to a little bit of a Brewers game on the radio today. Remember when like they shut baseball down in spring training last year? It's the craziest thing. Bob Uecker was calling the game. It was wild. It felt like normalcy. There's a bunch of new rules and regulations. As I was listening to the game, I'm just picking up on all this stuff. New rules. Like there's now starting pitchers have like, I don't want to say a pitch count, but they have limited action. You can have more pitchers. You can have like 15 pitchers on your staff. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But the plan is, at least I know at Miller Park, I'm sorry, not Miller Park anymore, American Family Field, to have fans in the stands. I think it was 30%. Maybe it was 30%. I don't know. It's just weird. And then you're going to go to Texas. You're going to go to Texas, and they're going to have a full stadium. Texas is open. Mississippi followed suit. Florida is obviously open. Going to be weird. Going to be weird. But, damn, it's been weird. It's been weird for almost a year now. You're about to run out of Facebook memories that were when you were doing normal things. Think about that. You know, when like you get those today memories that pop up on Facebook and you're like, oh, a year ago today I was doing this. Like you're about to run out of things that you were doing that were actually normal. Coming up on St. Patty's Day, and that's when in Wisconsin, that's when they basically shut things down, was on St. Patrick's Day. It's in like a week and a half. Now all of your memories that pop up on Facebook, if you have any, are going to be while you were in COVID protocols or whatever, lockdown, safer at home, whatever. That's concerning. Unless you, obviously a couple of years ago, but like from a year ago, you're going to be like, oh, that's right. I was stuck at home. I was teaching my child how to be a fourth grader. I added in homeschool teacher to my resume. It hasn't produced any results yet, but I digress. A couple more minutes and we're going to get to the guys from Emperors and Angels. And hey, C-Dubs, I appreciate you, but I don't care. I don't care. Thanks for watching. A guinea pig sanctuary facing closure after Facebook views piggies chat as police hatred. Did you read about this? A guinea pig sanctuary facing closure after fan talk on Facebook of, quote, piggies was wrongfully viewed as hatred towards police by Facebook, and they shut their page down. I'm guessing they must take donation through this page, and Facebook shut it down. We got to get a little more hands-on with this, don't you think? We got to stop letting the robots run the asylum here, Facebook. You got to have them like, oh, they're talking about guinea pigs. But it is an odd kind of profession, right? Guinea pig sanctuary? Is that a childhood dream come true? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. We have Matt and Bella, Emperors and Angels. Boys are hanging out in the green room. I can see them. I can see their. I see why I see. I see Matt's face. There we go. Look at that. We got some full on.
Got to come in.
Look at that. They're in They're in the show. They're live.
Are we in?
You're live, man. We're doing the thing.
Are we happening? Where's Bella at?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta bring it down.
Yes.
Hold on.
How goes it?
You slide it. It goes well, fellas. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Cooper, how you
In
doing?
studio, working on. I'm doing well. You guys are working on finishing up some new music, I hear.
We actually are. We're finishing up last edits on our newest release. Right now, when we're talking to you.
Multitasking.
And we're gonna
You
write a
guys are
song
getting
tonight,
shit
and
done.
what else are we gonna do? We're gonna drink some Vizzies after my 64. You ever had a Vizzy, dude? I know you're from Chippewa
Is
Falls.
Is
So I
that
know
that
you're-
stuff with? That's got vitamin C in it, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they've been running advertising for it because apparently we're a bunch of overweight fat kids up here in Wisconsin. They're like, run that Vizzy ad, like run it all the time. It's on like every third commercial break. It's like, it's got vitamin C and antioxidants and only 96 calories. We're like, what are you trying to say?
You gotta stay away from that milk stout you drink up there.
Right.
Keeps us hardy during the winter, you know?
That's right.
Get you through.
Importantly. Oh, how you guys been? I mean, it's been Matt, it's been a while since I saw you. Last time I saw you, you were in my radio booth with like a broken ankle back at Rock.
Yes, sir. Jeez, that
eons
was
ago.
Rockfest.
Yeah.
What year was that? 2000.
17?
See, maybe. Yeah, it was a while ago. I mean, it was 2000 Iron Maiden.
Yes, it was Iron Maiden year.
Yes, it
I
was.
think that was 16.
Yeah. No, I got some cool extra PR just because of that follow up on stage, you know. So it was good, and I appreciate the love back then, and we appreciate you having us on tonight.
No, Emperors and Angels, working on new music. Is there and I imagine it's been a challenging year with that whole thing that's going on in the world, the shutdown, the COVID, that whole thing.
We say like a balance.
It's been a balance. It's been good for the songwriting factor. We've had a lot of time to do that and work ideas out and get a lot of ideas down on tape. The downfall, of course, is no live shows. We're itching.
We had one.
Yes.
We had one.
One was in the works, and then it fizzled out, and
It was the weekend of the shutdown.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
almost
just
a year.
dying.
Almost a full year without a show.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know, I'm out of shape now, so I'm a guitar player, so just carrying my guitar rigs. I hope I don't strain anything loading up on stage just to get, ready to throw down. So we'll see what happens.
Gotta get those hammers working again, dude.
Yeah, better get in shape beforehand.
Using some of those Vizzies for curls,
Well, they're right underneath him if he needs to start. Yeah. Head
Oh
up.
man. Well, I didn't want to drink in front of you in case you didn't have one to share,
He's
so.
a Wisconsin dude.
Oh, latte.
The latte.
You got a latte. It's a low budget show. I hear the
Well, yeah,
commercials are good. Can't afford that Vizzy stuff.
Always low budget.
So a year since you've been on stage, have you guys there's some places that are starting to kind of open, unless you want to go to Texas, then it is like the original Wild West. They're open, they're doing
Hell,
shit.
dude, you're not gonna get a show open in Texas, that's not booked for probably 2 years.
they're all
That way,
every day.
that's crazy. Between what? Texas and what? Mississippi?
Mississippi and Florida, the three that are open basically at almost full cap.
I didn't know about Florida. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, Florida's been like kind of open for the most part. It's county by county makes a decision. That's why the Super Bowl had 22,000 people, but
Right.
the Super Bowl party had like 150,000 people all in really close quarters, and everybody's like, "Go team! It's all good."
Right.
Have you guys tried to pursue like looking at places to go and try to line any shows up, or is it too much of a pain in the ass to kind of line anything up right now?
We've had a couple festival opportunities come our way that we're kind of weighing out right now. One we're pretty much set and ready to go. It's called Summer Bash. It's in Muncie, Indiana.
Mhm.
I don't have the dates right offhand because we actually haven't announced that per the band. But we will soon. They're doing a lot of good promo for it. It's a festival that's going on, I think. Oh,
There it is.
Busy open. I heard a busy open. They've been doing it for about 6 years, and it's just been growing, you know. So through the label and everything, it gave us an opportunity to kind of go up there and showcase our talent, and it'd be a good time because hell, with this lineup, it'll be the first time we've been on stage. So
Yeah, we're itching for it. We've all played together in the past, and it's going to be exciting once we get to do it. So it's kind of slim pickings around here in Illinois anyway. And other than your dive bars or cover bar kind of vibe, as far as venues, it's just pretty few and far between around here. And slowly but surely, we'll be out there, doing it.
And you'll have new music to go right along with it.
can we see you?
Oh yeah, I mean it's going to be new to everybody anyway because we haven't played a damn show yet. But we're going to be probably on our second album before we even do our first show.
Well, I mean, we're already talking about it.
Yeah. So
that's kind of the cool thing, we're doing everything in house. It's up to us when, what our schedule is and how we're going to release music. And, I don't think, the industry's changed so much, so I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do things these days, just, as a newer project, a baby band, if you will, we have a lot of momentum, and, the more material we can release, the better for it. So.
Yeah, and you guys can, there's obviously new avenues. There's avenues to get your music out without having to go through the standard operating procedure, and especially now with people being more attached to their devices and discovery being a huge thing. I think there's that audience is out there, waiting for, to find that baby band that becomes the next big thing. And you got plenty of music in the tank, unleash it on the people.
Yeah, well, that's what we're looking forward to doing.
So what's the writing process been like? Obviously you've had time to do so. There's been, it's been a year. What's the writing process like for you guys? Is it collaborative? Do you try to all get in the studio and do it at once? You drink some. They better sponsor hey, Vizzy, if you're watching this, sponsorship dollars right here for.
Yeah, Vizzy, if you're watching, we have a hell of an album coming out, and
that'd be most epic.
I'll tell you what, you helped out a little bit.
Well, I credit you for the songwriting.
Heavily influenced by Vizzy. If they don't get a credit in the liner notes, then this is all for naught.
It was a new thing for both of us drinking this thing, but it's just so refreshing. Like you want to just jump right in the vocal booth.
Yes,
it opens you right up. Bella knows. Bella knows. He knows when it's vocal night because the Vizzy comes right at him.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
So damn it, Matt's gonna make me do backups now. Damn it, brought my guitar for nothing.
Is it one or two? What does it take to get Bella into the vocal booth? Is it one Vizzy or two Vizzy?
It's just usually the first one. The first one's fine. I'm not too picky,
He doesn't need to be primed to do some rock, man. He's a rocker. He's ready to go.
Old schooler, man. Let's do this. But no, to answer your question, just for the most part, it's gonna be maybe I have some riffs, bring it in, bounce it off of Matt, or he has vocal ideas, melodies. He's got a chorus in his head, and he just gets it down. Then we kind of collaborate on that. So it's not one way. It's every song's a little different, and I would say overall, it's all, we put our heads together and. It's kind of a mix of everybody's thoughts.
Yes.
That's kind of how it's been going and working well. And
there's no pressure with this project, like when we began this, it was all about fun. It was an excuse to go drink some extra beers, and obviously, share something that everybody's passionate about, which is rock music, and music in general. We're just pretty good at the rock genre. You know, but yeah, it's what it is.
Do you feel like this, the not having that pressure of a live show or having to go out and obviously you missed that aspect of it, but not having that has aided in the process of writing and getting a ton of music out or getting a ton of music put together, because you don't have to be like, well, we need to get something out, or we have to wait until we get back from, a couple week run, or we have a show this weekend. Do you feel like you've gotten less pressure because there's no shows right now?
Well, I think one thing is from probably, and Matt could speak the same, but from my past experiences, as far as a fresh band getting out, haven't had as much material to offer out of the gate for a first show. So it's kind of, we're already to that point where what are we going to cut out of the set?
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I'll add on to that, like, this whole weird process has almost fueled our desire to actually want to get out there, and play, because we do feel, that we are, to the point where, we're ready to get out there and showcase and, show what we got. Like I said, showcase. We're ready to put on a show. Hell, we were last week we were rehearsing, and we were having great problems. What to cut out of the set, how to figure out, a 35-40 minute set. I think my daughter came here, so let me see her. Hi, baby.
There, you can see.
Aww.
Hi, sweetheart. Did you have a good Nona Papa day? You're gonna be a tired one.
See, that just seals it right there. I mean, that's what it's all about. Don't need to do a live show. You got all that right there.
That's it. Can't do this on the road.
You can't. Challenging.
And that's the cool thing with all of us too, which, gives us some camaraderie is, we're all family guys.
Yeah.
And, with this band, we said at the beginning, family comes first, the band, it's a strong second, but we can't just lean and throw all of our eggs in,
right,
to a project, and forget about really what the most important thing is. And the most important thing is family to all of us. So if we have accidents on the way, we'll weigh those out, and we'll be intrigued to check that out. We're doing pretty well right now. We're working with Current Call Records, and they just released one of our newest, which we'll call our debut single, Signal the Brave. And it seemed to have picked up traction a lot. They do a secondary market radio for us, which has been doing very well. So everything that's happening with this band it's just a cool accident, because yet again, let me reiterate, we got together to get out of the house, drink some beers, and play some rock.
Do you find it's more enjoyable because you do have you have your priorities in line? It's not, the band needs to go out and do all this, the band needs to go all that. You have and it's obviously clear between all the bandmates that you're like family first and the band is second. Does that make it more enjoyable because you have those priorities in line?
Well, it takes away the pressure, right?
Yeah.
It takes away the pressure, I mean, there's so many of us out there, and there's so many great musicians, great bands, regional bands around this area, bands that, have a hard time being heard that are absolutely excellent, just throwing everything in, to their dream, and, not really realizing or appreciating the magnitude of how difficult, i.e. almost, impossible can be at times. So if you take that stress away, and you're not even worried about it, I feel the best is coming out of us.
Yeah, I think it helps in our creativity because it's one less struggle to deal with, and everybody's on the same level, and I think it's all a win-win.
No, I think it's a beautiful thing, and Matt's always looks like the postcard you see, or the picture you see inside of like a picture frame you go and buy at Target. Every time he puts a picture up, I'm like, dude, you like the picture family from Target. Just beautiful. Beautiful family got going on. Like I'm trying to do research on the band. I'm looking at his, he's a friend on Facebook. I'm like, is it? No, it's just like these beautiful family photos. It's all it is, which is amazing. That's a great place to be in.
when it's time to release music, you know, and focalize on the band, we all do a good job at that, you know, but it doesn't control our lives. But it is a huge part of our lives, and we're very proud of what we've been able to accomplish so far.
Yeah. Only really a year or so in, and we've come a long, long way, and looking forward to more for sure.
And shows.
Good golly, and shows, man.
I think everybody's looking forward to shows. Not as artists, I'm sure you guys are getting out there, you know, for the first time in a year, first time with this incarnation of the band. And I know the fans are they want to see anything live. They're like, give me a live cellist. Like I'm going to that fucking show. Like they need to get out and see some people.
No doubt about that.
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of people rely on live music. You know, it's live for it's so many people, you know, and it's true medication, you know. And, you know, a lot of people are missing out, and that's unfortunate. And for us, you know, on the opposite side of the spectrum, you know, who are the performers, well, you know, we fed off of that for so many years too, right? So that also helps us internally, you know, deal with whatever funk we're dealing with, you know. So it's back and forth, you know.
Yeah, live shows, concerts, festivals, it's all like a giant therapy session, I think, for everybody who's involved. It's like without paying the exorbitant fees you have to pay, I mean, maybe for the beer, depending on what, you know, where you're at. But it's like this giant group therapy, you know, as performers, you're out there getting that, you know, your songs that you wrote with your energy about things you've experienced, getting that out, that energy out. And for the fans, it's like just complete release. They're escaping from all the bullshit. And everybody comes together for this, again, giant, you know, round table therapy session. And, you know.
Hell yes.
So I think everybody needs that stuff back. So you guys have, you know, the new song out, the debut song out, but plenty of stuff in the hopper. With all the different ways to get music out these days, do you have are you doing like an album? Are you going to do an album and an EP? It sounds like you have enough stuff for maybe 2 full-length albums. Is that the route to go? Or are you guys just going to kind of piece things out as like, I mean, you can release a song here, you can release a song there. What's kind of the plan going forward with
material, right?
A lot of material. I think the consensus is we would do 2 albums. You know, we had to stop. Matt wants to keep recording. I was like, we got to stop for a minute, just so we can get the first album out. Otherwise, it's going to be a double album out of the gate, you know? So,
and we have to stop writing, which is almost impossible.
Right.
And he brought his guitar tonight, and he told me that he's working on something this weekend. So, you know, we might smash something out tonight. Who knows, you know, after we get done with these edits and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the thing. Like, you know, there's no restraint with this, you know? It's like we do what we want to do when we want to do it. The label's behind the choices that we're making, and they're helping with the distribution process. They're helping with the PR, you know, with the project. And, you know, so we're greatly appreciative of that. And I think we're trying to project some type of a full album debut, full album release. Maybe around April, May, you know, we're talking about sliding in maybe one more single and one more video before that happens, just to continue helping to build the platform. But I think it's important to all of us in the band, especially, you know, to be able to present everything we've worked so hard on doing.
No, I think you talk about having all the pressure that's not on right now, you know, with the way you prioritize the band, the way you don't have that show thing to worry about currently. I mean, I'm an advocate for just fucking come out of the gate with a double album. You know what? The way the treat, I mean, you know, Bella's out.
We joked about that.
He's you know, he's like, I got my guitar. I've been working on some shit. You know, there's gonna be another banger coming out tonight. We might as well just be like, you know what we did? Never been done before. We're coming out the gate with a double album.
We are debuting with a double album.
I mean, why the hell not? You know.
Yeah. It's 2021-ish. You know, it's fine. There's no rules anymore. It's the Wild West. We can do whatever the hell we want.
It's very true. It's very true. You know, there is no true business model on this anymore.
There really isn't. And I think the way you guys have seemingly, you guys have the control over how it's being done. I think that is, I mean, got to be freeing and releasing, and having a great label behind you who's supporting your decisions and how you want to do things and the way you've lined up what's important. I mean, it's got to feel great just outside of the no live shows. Everything's got to feel, I mean, really good about the progress this band has made in a year's time.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And, you know, we collectively love what's coming out as a group as a whole, and we're getting a lot of great response, you know, to kind of back that up. And that just kind of tells us, hey, we're on the right track. Let's keep doing it. And we feel, you know, the best is yet to come, but we're digging what we've got so far, and we're thinking, you know, there's a couple other folks out there gonna like it too. That's what we're kind of betting on there.
Well, that's awesome. Hey guys, I want to thank you for taking, I know you're in the middle of edits, and like I said, there's going to be a new fucking song written tonight, which I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to see Vizzy in the liner notes of the double album.
Yes.
You know?
Strawberry and kiwi tonight. Yeah.
Hey, they'll love that. I'm throwing all sorts of good ideas at you. Vizzy sponsor, and we're going to get the double album and another song coming tonight. I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm here to help any way I can.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Now, thank you guys for the time. Looking forward to the new music and hopefully seeing you guys up at a show sometime soon. You know, we got a couple of gigs around here that could always use some.
Yeah, dude, we got to get it. Yeah, we had a shot at it for this year, but everything from last year, you know, kind of jumped over into this year. So that possibility of us, I mean, it's still maybe there, but you'll know soon enough. Obviously, it's not going to be no grandstand made stage, but the second stage is great out there. I mean, that stage has grown year after year after year, you know.
Yeah,
one of the biggest rock festivals, you know, in the United States. So
they've definitely put emphasis on that second stage just because they know, I mean, you can fit 10,000 people underneath that canopy now.
Yeah.
They made the stage bigger, and it's just like, why not have people go from here to there? And it's weird because the main stage is great and I love it. I love everything about that festival. But when you're up on the top, I mean, you're like in it, like you are chest to ass with people, and the show is happening right there. It is like good old fashioned dirty rock and roll show happening up on the top, which I love.
It truly is. It truly is. Yeah. No, it's a great area and it's a great atmosphere, and you know, hopefully it happens this year for one, you know. Hopefully it happens.
Right.
You know, because yet again, everybody, it's a release. It's a release for everybody who wants to be there. It's a release for the individuals who are lucky enough to be able to play it, you know. But things like this just need to continually start happening, because we need to figure out something soon where we can all get some normalcy in our lives.
Yeah, people need good news. You know, they need to hear like things are happening. Like this is open, things are happening. This show is going on. Give them some light, man. Give them some happiness.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I told you, tours are going through Texas already.
Yes.
They're booked for the year. Hell, I think even Travis got back together.
Dude, I saw somebody posted that. Somebody posted
Seriously,
that.
I think that's true.
Travis and Flaw was doing a show together in Texas. I'm like, wait.
Chris Brown, what are you doing, man?
I have a question. Like, you tell me that was the only band that was available. Like nobody else was around. No? Come on.
Yeah.
Swing through Austin,
dude.
Swing through Austin. You could pick up a great band out of Austin. That'd be great, and have them play the show. But I don't make those kind of decisions. So, well, maybe it's not a good thing. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for the time. I know you got a busy night ahead of you and plenty of Vizzies, and I'm looking forward to, again, like I said, seeing you guys out and back on the stage, kicking the dust off, and kudos to you for doing it your way. I think that's the most important thing about this project.
Kick ass, Cooper. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us. Cheers.
Cheers yourselves. Cheers. Go bust out another song. You know it's gonna happen.
Lattes.
Awesome. Thanks, fellas. We'll chat soon.
All right.
Matt and Bella from Emperors and Angels on Cooperville Live. Thanking them. They got music out. They're working on the music in studio as we were talking, jamming out, getting ready for some new tunes. So that's freaking fantastic. To all of you, I say thank you for tuning in to a great episode of Cooperville Live. Thanks to my guests again, to Matt and Bella from Emperors and Angels, to my buddy Blake Davenport OH on all of these social medias, Instagram and TikTok mainly, as well as Madam Mayhem. Cruel Heart is the name of her new song. It is available everywhere you can stream music and the video. Check that out. It's badass. It is on Madam Mayhem Official on the YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, my buddy Brandon Z, up-and-coming country artist. We're going to talk music and life and pot and all the stuff. All the stuff. So we'll do it again. Joe, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you for being a part of it. And I don't care. Apparently I lost some subscribers on YouTube. They're probably robots. They're just the bots, man. Just the bots. Looking for Bitcoin advice. And I don't have that kind of stuff here yet. We will see you again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central on all of the platforms. Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. We